Mr. President, you won the White House amid high inflation, but something feels off. At 77, is Donald Trump still sharp enough for the job? His recent clash with journalist Kaitlan raises serious questions. Stay tuned to find out what happened. The tension in the room was palpable as former President Donald Trump faced off against journalist Kaitlan in a live press conference that quickly spiraled into an awkward and chaotic confrontation. What began as a routine briefing soon transformed into an unfiltered display of Trump's increasing difficulty in handling pointed questions, leaving many questioning both his temperament and his ability to maintain composure under pressure. Kaitlan known for her sharp questioning and relentless pursuit of answers, wasted no time pressing Trump on recent controversial statements and policy decisions. Her approach was direct, methodical, and unrelenting. Mr. Trump, given your recent comments on foreign policy, many have questioned whether you have a clear and consistent strategy. Can you clarify your stance? She asked. Rather than providing a structured response, Trump immediately shifted to a defensive posture. That's a nasty question, very nasty. And quite frankly, you don't understand foreign policy like I do, he retorted, waving a hand dismissively. The room fell silent for a moment before Collins continued, undeterred. With all due respect, Mr. Trump, the American people deserve a clear answer. Can you specify what your strategy is? She pressed further. Trump's expression darkened as he interrupted, raising his voice. You know, people tell me you're one of the worst journalists. So unfair. Fake news, the strategy is perfect. Everyone knows it. As the back and forth escalated, viewers noticed Trump struggling to maintain control of the conversation. At 77 years old, his composure seemed to waver, with moments of hesitation and disjointed statements that left some questioning his sharpness. He veered off topic multiple times, bringing up old grievances about past elections, his ongoing legal troubles, and even unrelated accusations against other politicians, instead of addressing the actual question at hand. The interaction took an even more uncomfortable turn when Trump, visibly agitated, cut Collins off mid-sentence. No, we're done here. You people never learn. He attempted to move on to another reporter, but the damage had already been done. The tension in the room was undeniable, and the moment was quickly clipped and shared across social media, where it ignited a firestorm of reactions from both supporters and critics alike. Trump's supporters were quick to defend him, arguing that Collins was being aggressive, disrespectful, and intentionally combative. Collins was out of line. These so-called journalists only want to attack Trump, not report the news fairly. Trump handled it like a leader. No nonsense. That's why people love him. The media always tries to twist his words. He's right to shut them down. These reporters aren't asking questions. They're just pushing an agenda. On the other side, critics saw the exchange as further proof of Trump's struggles with accountability and composure. This was embarrassing. If he can't handle a simple question from a journalist, how can he handle leading a country? He dodged every question. This is not strength, it's insecurity. It's clear he doesn't want to be challenged. A leader should welcome tough questions, not run from them. Every time he gets backed into a corner, he lashes out instead of answering. That's not leadership. Beyond the immediate fallout from the press conference, the event fueled a growing discussion about Trump's mental acuity and overall sharpness. Observers noted that his responses lacked the precision and forcefulness he once wielded. Where he once relied on a strong, dominant presence to command the room, he now seemed increasingly reliant on well-worn catchphrases, recycled grievances, and abrupt dismissals rather than substantive arguments. Some political analysts suggested that this interaction reflected a broader issue: Trump's increasing difficulty in dealing with accountability. Unlike in previous years where he could steamroll over questions with sheer force of personality, this exchange exposed a vulnerability, one that critics argue is becoming more apparent as he ages. Even within conservative circles, murmurs of doubt began to arise. Some of his staunchest supporters acknowledged that his performance felt off, with less of the trademark confidence that once defined his confrontational style. A longtime Republican strategist noted, "Even if you support Trump, you have to admit that something feels different. The fire isn't there in the same way." This isn't the first time Trump has clashed with journalists, and it likely won't be the last. Throughout his political career, he has built his brand on defying and attacking the press, often labeling any critical coverage as fake news and painting himself as a victim of media bias. However, as the political landscape shifts and his age becomes more of a talking point, these confrontations may no longer play out in his favor as they once did. For Collins, the exchange further cemented her reputation as a journalist willing to stand her ground, even in the face of hostility. Many in the media praised her professionalism, noting that she remained composed and focused despite Trump's repeated interruptions and dismissals. She did exactly what journalists are supposed to do: hold powerful figures accountable, said one political commentator. The viral moment has now become another chapter in Trump's long and contentious relationship with the press. Whether this was an isolated instance of frustration or a sign of deeper struggles remains to be seen. One thing, however, is certain. As he continues his political ambitions, confrontations like this will only add fuel to an already divisive national conversation about his fitness to lead. Even as the news cycle moves forward, this exchange will likely linger in the minds of voters, journalists, and political analysts alike. Was this just another fiery moment in Trump's never-ending battle with the media? Or was it a glimpse into a leader who is beginning to lose his edge? As the campaign season heats up, these questions will only become more pressing, and every public appearance will be scrutinized more than ever before.